New York is known as the Empire State, a nickname to reference its abundant resources. It appears everywhere, from iconic buildings to license plates, and even on a brewery that has built a small empire of its own. Welcome to the brand new Empire Farmstead Brewery, a 40,000 square foot facility located on 22 acres of farmland about 20 miles from Syracuse in the town of Cazenovia. We're visiting just before the official grand opening in 2016, but they're already producing beer in this facility, and you can still smell the aroma of lumber mixing with fresh malt and hops. I'm here to meet with Dave Katleski, the founder and president. The journey to where we stand today didn't happen overnight. It actually began over 20 years ago when David was working with a shopping mall developer in Syracuse. So in a nutshell, tell me about how you started and founded Empire Brewing.
My college roommate once told me that if I ever wanted to open a restaurant, let him know. And I fell in love with Syracuse and thought that downtown needed a little shot in the arm. So I called my college roommate, and ironically, he was at the Northampton Brew Pub. And he's like, dude, there's this concept called a brew pub where we could like make beer and have the restaurant at the same time. And I was like, that sounds awesome, let's do it. So that's where it all came together, and that was 1992. And we set out to be one of the first craft breweries in New York State. We chose Armory Square in Syracuse because the basement rent was $3 a square foot, and that's all we could afford.
The original Empire Brew Pub in Syracuse is still there and has operated continuously since it first opened. The casual atmosphere is enhanced by the cozy, tucked-away feeling. The brewing facility is housed in glass to provide patrons with a view of their beer being born. And this restaurant knows how to pair the best of local brew with the best of local fare.
If anyone were to ask us any of the menu items, we would know what to pair with it. Like an IPA is good at cutting something spicy down. The amber ale is really good with pizza, complementing like an Italian type flavor. The white afro would be good with desserts. I think people are drawn to our locally sourced beer. Also, we have a lot of Louisiana style Southern cuisine. I like our really funky flavored beers. Like I like our local grind. It's flavored with coffee. I like the deep purple flavored with Concord grapes. You can see the Eat Where You Live right above our stairs, so that's a huge thing for us. We like to incorporate as much local produce, meats, distilleries as possible.
Empire now is known for using fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Was that always a part of the business right from the beginning?
It wasn't until 2007 we did a carbon footprint analysis of our food and determined that the average piece of food on the plate that our customer was eating had traveled 3,000 miles. And it blew me away.
The average?
Yes. One of the reasons why we chose this farmstead location is directly across the street is a beef farmer. Part of the deal here is that all of our spent grains now go directly across the street to feed his cattle. Now that's going to obviously save him on feed over the course of the year. We're going to produce 100 tons or whatever of spent grain, and he'll go and feed his cattle. That's pretty cool.
It's this kind of progressive thinking that has earned David a reputation as something of a visionary in the craft beer industry. Just consider a quick list of his achievements. He started a brew pub before the idea really even caught on in New York. And Empire was the first company, not just the first brewery, to use 100% New York-produced renewable energy. And back when David was one of only a handful of craft brewers trying to scratch out a living in a world dominated by big domestic producers and foreign imports, he founded the New York State Brewers Association, an organization that promotes all New York State brewers. And now, Empire has expanded from the basement brew pub producing about 800 barrels of beer a year to the new facility that has its sights set on all of New York and beyond. We're standing here in the new facility on the farmstead. It's gorgeous and it's huge.
Yeah.
You've been with the company for how long?
9 years now with Empire, yeah.
This is a big change of pace from the old spot.
It really is. I mean, you know, the old spot is a 7-barrel brew pub system that had been there for 20 years, and this is obviously a more state-of-the-art, much larger 60-barrel system that we have here.
I love how people sitting at the bar are facing the bottling line. I saw the bottling machine going earlier, and it takes several people working it, but there's a lot of automation too, and the bottles are being rinsed and filled and labeled all automatically.
Yeah, and you know, part of the concept behind being able to see in the brew house is you've been to the original brew pub in Syracuse, the brewery is right there. You know, open glass, you can see in what's going on there. So even though this is much larger, we wanted to carry that experience over here. And when people come in, if we're out here working, they can take a peek and see what we're doing.
Right now, there's a lot of tanks in here, but there's also a lot of open space.
Yep.
And so you're telling me that the idea is to expand this and really fill up the warehouse with more fermenters.
We designed the place for expansion so we could grow our barrelage without having to add to the building. So everything that we bought, our boiler, our hot water tanks, our air compressors, all of that stuff is sized to get to 100,000 barrels a year.
I saw on social media today pictures of your new bottles on shelves at grocery stores around the state.
I don't have any children, but I said to people, now I think I know what it's like to have a kid, because that was like my baby being born and going out into the world. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. I actually went last night and bought a 6-pack just for the experience of doing that. It was
amazing.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
Congratulations
Thanks,
on
man.
that.
I appreciate that.
So the distribution of your beer has also grown, and now you're even taking it overseas.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that we were going to be shipping beer to China.
But they are, as one of just a few craft brewers doing so. It all came together when David had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go to China with a group of business professionals put together by New York State.
We happened to go to this amazing company called Zhongwei Futi, which is in Xi'an, which is central China. And Mr. G, who is the owner of the company, and I hit it off. He said, you should make a beer with my tea. And I said, that sounds great. And we had determined that we were born 31 days apart in the year of the dragon, and I said, we'll call it Two Dragons. China is about 25 years behind where the US is in terms of craft beer. The difference between China and the US is China moves much faster. When they see something that's cool or Western,
it can explode.
It can explode. Yeah. So I believe in the next 5 years, they're going to catch up to us in terms of popularity for craft beer.
David went so far as to hire export specialist Jing Zhang in order to help him better understand the Chinese market. She saw an opportunity for Empire's unique collaboration in creating Two Dragons to help promote understanding between the US and China.
Beer is such a non-political thing that everybody can enjoy, and because of the Two Dragons blending with the two cultures so well in a bottle of beer, that could be an awesome bridge that we can set up for the two countries. When people drink a beer, especially craft beer, they want to know the story behind it. And that's the key for the two different cultures to blend in together.
Empire has had some amazing growth. I mean, we're sitting here at this beautiful farmstead brewery. It's an exciting time for the company.
It's exciting, it really is. When I could have just sat back and enjoyed the success of our brew pub with a name like Empire and the reputation of our brand and the amount of awards that we won, it to me only made sense that we took it to the next level.
Well, keep those good ideas coming.
Thanks.